people play with people intelligence the way they play with people intelligence and intellect, you know, the way they do today. You know, people are telling lies for a living. You know what I mean?
You know what's the to me? There's a who pick who he be fight with.
Right.
Like if you see it and you go, oh, I'm not going because this.
I won't him, but I fuck him up.
Yeah, I think I can take him.
Right.
They ain't never check in to nobody.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Just go to their hotel and move militant. You know what I'm saying? When you move around the city, bro, you gotta be careful. And that's just, we dealing with G-Unit. Had a lot of drama.
Tony Yayo just pulled up on J Prince, and what he shared might be one of the most surprising extortion scenarios hip-hop has ever witnessed. Here's how it unfolded. J Prince allegedly tried to enforce that infamous check-in or else approach on none other than 50 Cent. But 50? He didn't flinch. Instead of giving in, he went public with the whole situation, essentially daring anyone to try him. And just like that, what had been a quiet standoff turned into a full-blown conflict between Houston's street figurehead and a battle-tested New Yorker. But before it all exploded, this tension had been simmering beneath the surface for years. J Prince, the legendary founder of Rap-A-Lot Records, isn't just another figure in hip-hop, he's the blueprint for street-level authority. Houston is his domain. He moves quietly, but when he makes a move, the impact is unmistakable. He doesn't need to speak loudly, his reputation alone speaks volumes across H-Town. When J Prince talks, people pay attention. For artists visiting the city, skipping the check-in was a risky move. It could cost you your chain, maybe even more. That's the kind of presence he held. But then there was 50 Cent, who came from a completely different mindset. He was never interested in playing street politics laid out by self-declared power players. From day one, he stood alone, independent, confident, and always ready. There were no check-ins, no pleas for safety, just 50 and his crew operating with precision. His rise came through feuding with Ja Rule, Irv Gotti, and the entire Murder Inc. crew. That's how 50 made his name.
Like I got out there, they showed me a lot of love. But Shreveport had the infrastructure already here. Like even the tax incentive was put back.
Well, yeah. And so a lot of people have been talking about, man, he's here only because they gave him a cheap deal or something like that. The reality is there's more to that deal than that. Way more.
They can't see.
Break that down.
I'm spending $20 million this year anyway in the same building that they're saying was the cheap building.
Right.
So find somebody else to spend $20 million.
Right from the start, 50 was known for refusing to back down. G-Unit wasn't just a record label, it was a tightly run unit like a militant squad. No check-ins, no gatekeeping, and certainly no paying for protection. That mindset was clear. From the beginning, he wasn't here to play by anyone else's code. So when word spread about 50 possibly relocating to Houston, it wasn't just about changing cities, it was a signal. Because if 50 moved to H-Town without checking in with J Prince, that wasn't just a snub, it was a direct challenge to power. And yes, it actually happened.
Came to the city of Houston, but he didn't just come here to live. He has been helping out on so many causes in this city. And especially, he has been in our high schools, turning our high school students into entrepreneurs with his G-Unity program. I've seen him firsthand. This city has been elevated because of his presence. And so today, we have the honor of saying to him, he's our 2022 Grand Marshal. Give it up to Curtis 50 Jackson. Now, before I call on him to speak, let me present you first a key to the city of Houston. Anywhere you go, 550 buildings, use the key, the door will swing wide open.
At first, the tension felt like a Cold War. 50 stayed in New York, doing what he does best, master-level trolling. Meanwhile, J Prince remained firmly rooted in Houston, moving like its quiet ruler. They traded subtle shots, but never crossed into each other's lanes until 50 unexpectedly changed the game with a simple tweet. I love New York, but I live in Houston now. I'll explain later. Just like that, things shifted. And no, it wasn't for show. 50 had real business moves in place. New York taxes were cutting into his profits, so Houston made sense. More space, lower taxes, and a music scene on the rise. Plus, his Branson cognac brand needed a southern presence, and Houston's liquor scene was booming. 50 wasn't just moving there to live, he was there to connect with the culture, expand his business, and reinvest entertainment money into the city. But here's where the friction began. He didn't check in. And reportedly, J. Prince didn't take that lightly. Some say he viewed 50's arrival as an attempt to claim influence without showing respect, a major sign of defiance in street terms. And when J. Prince feels disrespected, pressure tends to follow. Word on the street was that he sent people to approach 50, allegedly trying to get him to pay what's seen as a local tax for protection. But 50 instantly shut that down. He made it clear to his team, G-Unit rolls with its own muscle. We don't pay to feel safe. He wasn't about to be treated like an outsider in a game he helped define. That's when the situation escalated.
Maybe we need to change the word for the youngsters. The checking in part, is they seem to get hung up on that word, checking in.
Yeah.
So if we could diversify that word and bring it up to a 2021 thing.
Right. What's the word, OG? What's the word?
Maybe we may want to tell them they need to get connected.
Reportedly, J. Prince responded by declaring a no-fly zone for 50 Cent, a clear message: you're not welcome in Houston. Now, that kind of move might intimidate smaller names in the game, but this was 50 Cent. Instead of retreating, he turned Instagram into his personal platform, firing off memes, clever captions, and sharp comments that landed with precision. It was like a reality show teaser, but the message was serious. He wasn't there to submit, he was there to invest. And while the noise played out online, behind the scenes, he was already developing a $20 million G-Unit film and TV studio right in Houston's core.
Stuck on stupid, right?
Yeah.
You're stuck on stupid and you're not using your powers or access to powers that you have. You're looking at it as a negative versus a positive. We all know if you can tap into good people wherever you go.
Wherever. Yeah.
But I mean, it's a blessing, Rip.
Real talk.
That project could have been a game changer, creating jobs, internships, and a fresh wave of opportunity in Houston's creative scene. But before it could take off, the entire $20 million plan was pulled and redirected to Shreveport, Louisiana. Officially, 50 said the change was due to better infrastructure, but let's be real, if you've been watching closely, you know what happened. The street dynamics in Houston had become too unstable. 50 is a strategist he wasn't about to stick around and deal with hidden threats. So he made a calculated decision, exited quietly, and kept building elsewhere. And here's the twist. Even though J. Prince may have tried to push him out, the city itself didn't follow suit. In fact, they welcomed 50 more than ever.
Don't turn me down. What you said? Don't turn me down. What you on, folks? Don't turn you down. Yeah, man. What you on, folks? What you mean what I'm on? What you on, man? What the deal there? What up? What up? You want to buy your shit back? What? You ain't get you flunked out ass little nigga. I'm trying to see where you at. You dumb mother. What you got? $20 out of car? Nah, nigga. You know what we got? Nigga, stop that cap. Man. Motherfucker, capping, bro. They gonna believe anything. You want me to start my car? I just took a picture in the same car today with my little boy. You on this like.
By 2022, just a year after 50 Cent landed in Houston, the atmosphere had shifted entirely. Mayor Sylvester Turner gave him an official welcome, literally. He presented 50 with a key to the city and declared November 24th 50 Cent Day during the annual Thanksgiving Day parade. No exaggeration, he was being treated like he'd grown up there. The mayor didn't just call him a rapper, he called him a philanthropist and entrepreneur. Through his G-Unity program, 50 was working with high school students, giving them tools to succeed. The crowd's reaction? Overwhelming. And that was just the beginning. Through the G-Unity Foundation, 50 started giving back in big ways, organizing turkey drives, distributing toys, supporting schools. He didn't just move to Houston, he became part of its fabric. With Sire Spirits, he partnered with the Rockets, Texans, and Astros, getting involved with every major sports team. In 2023 alone, he donated $850,000 worth of toys to local families. No big announcement, just action.
Pause, you know what I mean? Because the little homie young boy place got broke into, people went in his place, disrespected different things, and you know, I got a call about it. And the little homies that went into this place want to make that right because they understand that, you know what I mean, young boy family is okay with me. And as you can see, homie, to make a long story short, I got your keys to your Rolls Royce. I got your keys to your McLaren. You know, all that shit that they took. And the homie, Shakur, what you got, homie?
We got your Rolls Royce umbrellas. We got your keys. Got a bunch of other shit, so.
Then came 2024. 50 Cent helped raise $500,000 for the Houston Children's Charity by auctioning off just 2 oversized bottles of his luxury champagne, Le Chemin du Roi. That one event brought in a staggering $6 million. While 50 was gaining respect and giving back to the community, J. Prince was, by most accounts, watching from the sidelines, a former power player now witnessing the spotlight shift. Once the quiet authority of Houston, he now saw another figure, being celebrated openly, complete with cameras and city honors. That's when Tony Yayo, the most outspoken member of G Unit, took to Vlad TV and explained why they never bought into the check-in culture.
It's like the Fed's not playing.
Yeah.
All around the board. New York City, we used to the federal indictments, but now you see them, they doing it in Atlanta, state indictments, they doing it in LA. But yo, bro, you gotta think about it. People travel to LA, they wanna be in LA to be comfortable. A lot of them houses getting ran in, robbed, can't go to this place to go to go eat without getting rodeo. When you see people getting robbed on rodeo,
yeah.
Oh, you know the Fed's coming.
According to him, G Unit moved militant for a reason.
He never made me check in. He could have been like, yo, listen, you in LA now? I'm gonna need this much money from Vlad TV every month.
New York niggas don't know nothing about checking.
I know, I'm straight out of New York,
Shout
right?
out to my niggas from New York, because that's a whole nother lane. We've been coming to LA since 204, 205, and ain't never check in to nobody.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Just go to their hotel and move militant. You know what I'm saying? When you move around the city, bro, you gotta be careful. And that's just, we dealing with G Unit. Had a lot of drama. So had to move militant. Ain't just going to the mall and just going here with jewelry on and this and that. And you gotta move militant, bro.
Yeah.
You got wherever you at, you gotta move militant, because niggas will kill you over the smallest thing.
He got some advice for people like 50.
You gotta move militant, bro. You don't need to just be out there. That's why assistants are there. Go to the store for you. Go pick up food for you. That's how I was taught. Go pick this up for you. And the artist just chill, because the artist is the bag and the valuable one. We free Dirk. We don't want to see rappers in jail and the feds jammed up. We don't want to see rappers dead, because niggas made it already.
Yayo didn't hold back. G Unit's philosophy was always about moving with discipline, tight-knit, self-reliant, and completely uninterested in street politics. As for the check-in culture, Yayo called it out for what it was, a polished setup for extortion. The concept is simple: either pay when you arrive in a city or take the risk of being targeted.
Hey, I don't want no friends, I don't want no new relationships. All that. Hey, I don't respect none of that shit, man. If you got something for me, man, they got plenty around me you could call. Man, nigga, it's plenty ways you can get in touch with me. Man, don't get on no internet and do nothing publicly. Don't do nothing dealing with no publicity, none of that pussy and shit. And I'm good on the keys, gangster. When you buy shit cash, two keys come with the car anyway. Mind your man.
J. Prince built his reputation around protecting visiting artists in Houston, promoting himself as the city's unofficial gatekeeper. On the surface, the check-in tradition seems welcoming, but when you look deeper, it resembles less of a courtesy and more of a coercion tactic. The unwritten rule? If you're performing or making moves in Houston, you're expected to check in with J. Prince, show respect, which in reality often translates to paying up. The idea is that doing so ensures your safety and, if something goes wrong, say your chain. gets snatched, it might magically get returned. But let's be honest, it's when you don't check in that trouble usually follows. Yayo didn't shy away from mentioning Pop Smoke's death, a painful reminder that relying on street TIs or assumed protection without legitimate security can lead to tragedy. His message was clear: the so-called protection game comes with hidden costs. And when things get serious, those street connections won't save you. In fact, these affiliations can turn into liabilities, especially with federal authorities cracking down. G-Unit made a conscious decision to avoid that lane: no check-ins, no dependencies, no favors. Instead, they focused on operating with security, control, and internal loyalty. In their eyes, it's safer to rely on your own people than owe anything to someone playing a different game.
You're dealing with older people. They're the last to know that things have changed. We not your little niggas. Like, the way you talking, I don't get what you mean. We're not your little niggas. Like, for real, all that big homie stuff, that's for little niggas. Little niggas have big homies. We're not little niggas, so we don't even respect big homies. I know Killer doesn't, and for me, I never respected niggas in the streets. That's why I always got the problems I got.
Then came NBA Youngboy's visit to Houston. He arrived for business, but without checking in. Not long after, chaos followed. His spot got hit, chains missing, cash gone, car keys taken. It felt like a setup. Then, unexpectedly, J Prince appeared on Instagram, claiming he recovered the stolen items. But instead of settling the matter privately, he went public, recording a video and posting it online. Youngboy wasn't impressed. He fired back immediately, calling J Prince a 60-year-old chasing attention. His point: if it was really about helping, a private call would have sufficed. Going online felt performative. Soon after, Cameron and Mano joined the conversation, openly criticizing J Prince. They questioned why he was still trying to operate like a street boss in a new era. Their take was direct real leaders uplift, not exploit. And if you're still playing street games in your 60s, it's not a mark of success, it's a sign that something went wrong. And then, of course, came the dice games.
Nothing should have happened. What do you say to that?
What I would say to that is, you know, I have a track record, man, and the Prince family have a track record of 30 plus years of, you know what I mean, honoring and loving on our guests and being with our guests, and no shit like this never happened. But here's the thing, and this is what people don't understand. We ain't never had nobody to attack us. If you know what I mean. You know, when a man attack a situation with a weapon, then, you know, it become a playing field where, you know, any and everything go.
Allegedly, J Prince's second biggest hustle after intimidation has been these high-stakes dice games in Houston. They've become notorious not just for the huge sums being thrown around, but for what people say happens in the background. For years, whispers have circulated suggesting these games are set up to trap artists, luring them in just to line them up. The most heartbreaking example: Takeoff. That tragic night still haunts the culture. A dice game escalated, gunfire broke out, and one of hip-hop's most respected voices was gone in seconds. But here's where things get murkier. According to Street Talk, not just from random internet trolls, but from people close to the situation, J Prince was upset that Takeoff and Quavo allegedly didn't follow proper check-in protocol when they arrived in Houston. The story goes, he gave the okay to scare them a little, not to cause real harm. But what was meant to send a message turned into a tragedy. Takeoff lost his life. When questions started flying, J Prince avoided direct accountability. Every time the incident came up, he would deflect, mumble, or pivot to another topic, doing everything but taking responsibility. He even allegedly admitted to tampering with evidence, which isn't just questionable, it's legally serious. And we can't ignore what happened to Duke the Jeweler. After winning $100,000 at a dice game, he never made it back to his vehicle. He was ambushed, robbed, and killed. Another life lost not due to conflict, but tied to these questionable setups and the toxic code that's been damaging the culture for too long. Now compare that to what 50 Cent's doing. While one figure allegedly builds his influence on fear, 50 is focused on building opportunities, creating community centers, providing food, handing out scholarships, and establishing a lasting legacy. Meanwhile, J. Prince seems stuck trying to preserve a street image that belongs to a different era. And here's the real twist: 50 isn't just trolling anymore. Word is, he's been gathering evidence behind the scenes.
And Mike and Junior was walking by. He actually went in the restroom to wash blood off his hand where he had reached up on the takeoff. He had to pick him up, and his fingers went in it. You know why? Blood. Well,
50 Cent has been working quietly, speaking with sources, collecting information, and piecing together what might be evidence that the check-in culture is actually part of a larger extortion operation. If federal investigators take notice, this could escalate quickly. This isn't just social media games anymore. 50 is strategic. He doesn't bluff. He's turned jokes into business moves before, and this time he might be preparing something much bigger. One leak, one post, or even an anonymous tip to the feds could bring the whole system down. While one man holds onto an old reputation rooted in fear, the other is reshaping Houston's future. 50 didn't just move to the city, he earned its respect. While J. Prince allegedly tried to intimidate artists, 50 was receiving honors from the mayor, offering scholarships, hosting charity events, and investing in real initiatives for the community. So now the big question stands: who truly holds influence in Houston? The behind-the-scenes enforcer or the man with the city's key and public support? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Did 50 go too far, or is he exactly the figure hip-hop needed to challenge outdated street politics? Hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with your people. And trust us, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Things are only going to get more complicated. See you in the next video.